The Joel Embiid situation in Philadelphia has been one of the hottest topics of the entire offseason, and multiple NBA sources and NBA insiders have linked the New York Knicks to Joel Embiid if he requests to trade out of Philadelphia. But thanks to a recent report from an NBA insider, Leon Rose may not want to wait long, as he may have made a significant move in the pursuit to get Joel Embiid on the New York Knicks. Also, the NBA made a move on James Harden in the Daryl Morey situation, and that move could certainly help affect Joel Embiid heading to the New York Knicks. We're going to break down exactly what happened and so much more today. Let's get started. Leon Rose attended Joel Embiid's wedding. That's right, you didn't hear me wrong. Leon Rose, New York Knicks team president, and William Wesley both were in attendance for Joel Embiid's wedding. And according to NBA insider Mark Stein, that attendance wasn't nothing. According to Mark Stein, both Knicks president Leon Rose and his top aide, William Wesley, were at Embiid's recent wedding. And while true that Rose and Wesley used to represent Embiid as player agents, it has been suggested that their attendance was not nothing. He goes on to state, I do believe that the Knicks and the Heat are among the teams monitoring the situation because they would wish to be at the front of the line if Embiid did ask out. This is a significant report and a significant move by Leon Rose. He went with William Wesley, one of his top aides, to Joel Embiid's wedding. And not only did he go because he has a relationship with Joel Embiid, but when he went there, according to Mark Stein, that wasn't for nothing. He went there for a reason. There was a purpose for it. And I think the purpose for it was Leon Rose stating, hey man, what are you doing in Philadelphia? Look what's happening there. They're in shambles. You really want to waste your MVP years over there in a franchise that's not going to build around you, that has to rebuild again, that's added star after star after star around you and it hasn't worked? Or do you want to come to a bigger market where you can make even more money, be even more known, and if you help the Knicks win a championship, your name will be cemented in legacy? I love to hear that the New York Knicks are one of the front runners to get Embiid if he leaves Philadelphia. But I can't lie, I don't like that the Heat are also one of those teams. Because for me, the Heat and the Knicks are a rivalry. And I don't want to see one of our main rivals get that much better and get an MVP talent caliber player like Joel Embiid. That right there could set them up for the future to be one of the dynasty teams for the next few years. And I definitely don't want to see that from the Heat. If the New York Knicks could add Joel Embiid and get him from the Philadelphia 76ers with keeping more or less their core intact, if possible, then I would say the New York Knicks would be in contention for not only the Eastern Conference Finals, but the NBA Finals with Embiid added. That's how significant a piece Embiid is if he's added to the New York Knicks. But a lot of fans have been asking, why are the Heat and the New York Knicks two of the top candidates for Joel Embiid's services if he leaves Philadelphia? Well, Mark Stein helped give us some insight into why that would be. So according to Mark Stein, Embiid played with Heat star Jimmy Butler during Philadelphia's 2018-2019 season, and the two nearly reached the Eastern Conference Finals together. But Embiid's relationship with the Knicks president Leon Rose is slightly more behind the scenes. Before becoming the Knicks president in 2020, Rose was a prominent agent to several NBA stars, including Joel Embiid. Part of the reason why the Knicks hired Rose was his relationships with players in the NBA to help in free agency and other transactions. Perhaps Rose's relationship with Embiid could set the foundation for a trade from the 76ers down the line. This is some great information here from Mark Stein, as now we understand even more so why Miami and New York are the two top destinations for Joel Embiid. That relationship with Jimmy Butler and how far they went before is going to be in Joel Embiid's mind definitely. But that relationship, and clearly a special relationship if Leon Rose and William Wesley were in attendance for his wedding, If it's that special of a relationship, and again, he repped him for years as well too. And when you're somebody's agent, you get to know them personally as well too, what they like, what they don't like, and sometimes you can build a close personal relationship. And given what Mark Stein has reported here, I think that's exactly what Leon Rose and Joel Embiid have. A very close and personal relationship that I think stemmed from when he repped him for so many years. And I think that relationship is going to be a crucial point and a tipping point in the scale of getting Joel Embiid on the New York Knicks if he requests to trade out of Philadelphia. And I think the Leon Rose relationship here is going to be one of the biggest factors. Mark Stein just said it, and I want to repeat that again because it was significant. Leon Rose was hired here primarily because of the relationship he has with the NBA players in the league. You have to, at some point, utilize that as team president. So hopefully, Leon Rose's attendance at Joel Embiid's wedding is that first step in the attempt to acquire Joel Embiid from the Philadelphia 76ers. But it's going to be very interesting to continue watching how this entire story unfolds. James Harden has been fined by the NBA, and they didn't fine him a little bit of money. According to Adrian Wojnarowski, the NBA is fining the Sixers star James Harden $100,000 for his recent comments referring to Daryl Morey as a liar. James Harden got fined $100,000. So let me get this right. Not only do you not want to be a Sixer, not only do you not like Daryl Morey, not only do you openly want to be traded, but now you're fined $100,000 on top of that? The NBA is savage sometimes. But a lot of fans have been asking, why was he fined in the first place? Well, according to Bobby Marks of ESPN, here's the reason why he was fined. It comes from the new CBA. The rule is new, and the $100K is the maximum allowed. The maximum player fine that may be imposed for one, conduct or statements detrimental to the best interest of basketball, the NBA, or a team. Or two, violations of the tampering rules will be $100,000. So James Harden called Daryl Morey a liar and basically openly stated that he wanted to be traded. So because of that, and because of the new rule under the new CBA, he had to be fined, and he was fined $100K. So James Harden, buddy, you gotta watch what you say, because you're gonna get fined a lot of money. And if you don't want to lose money, you better stop talking, because the more you talk, the more money you're gonna lose. But obviously, this situation for Philadelphia is not something you want to have going into training camp. As I stated before, Joel Embiid and James Harden are close. They have a good relationship. I think that if Daryl Morey trades James Harden, I think Joel Embiid would be the next trade target up, and I think he would go for a lot in terms of assets. So we got to be careful here in regards to trying to trade for Joel Embiid, because Daryl Morey, dealing with him is like dealing with a thief in the night. When you deal with him, the likelihood is he's going to ask for everything you have and more, because he wants to get the most he can get from a team when he trades a player like a Joel Embiid. So because of that, it's going to be very tricky to work with the Sixers. That's why I think Leon Rose going to Joel Embiid's wedding is so significant, because if he can take the power out of the 76ers organization's hands by saying, I want to trade, but I only want to go to the New York Knicks. Kind of like how Dame is doing with the Miami Heat. I think it would give the Knicks a little bit more power in regards to who they would include in a trade for Joel Embiid and who they would retain. Because in that scenario, I would gather that the New York Knicks would retain a lot more versus if Joel Embiid didn't request a trade to the Knicks, but just openly requested a trade to any team. Because if that happened, I think it would take significantly more assets from the Knicks in order to get a Joel Embiid trade done. But moving back to the James Harden situation, it's not a pretty one. If you take a recent report from The Athletic, according to them, James Harden has no plans of taking part in training camp. Harden is displeased with how his time with the Sixers has played out, and things again got worse on Tuesday when he was fined that $100K. So everything going on in the Philadelphia 76ers right now is looking like James Harden will absolutely be traded before the start of the season. And if that happens, I fully believe Joel Embiid to be traded. Either Daryl Morey will put him on the trading block, or Joel Embiid will request to be there himself. And if that happens, the New York Knicks will absolutely be that top team waiting and hoping Joel Embiid gets his butt over to New York and becomes that significant number one piece that we need for the New York Knicks to contend in the Eastern Conference and, of course, in the NBA as well, too. So honestly speaking, the worse this James Harden situation gets in Philadelphia, the better I feel. Because every single bad moment, every single bad situation that happens in Philadelphia is a check in the right box for the New York Knicks. Because as that franchise crumbles, the opening to get Joel Embiid and the opening to pry him away from the 76ers, hopefully for a significantly less price than Daryl Morey wants, that would be not only a win for Leon Rose, but a significant move for the New York Knicks. And I hope and pray that Joel Embiid can be a Knick very, very soon. Because in my opinion, him on the Knicks is a game changer. If you like this video, go ahead and leave a comment below, smash that like button, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Until next time, Knick fans. Peace.